Imagine blowing out 100 candles on your birthday cake. You're sharp, your mind is totally clear, and you've got the mobility to still get out there, tend your garden, and walk to the market. You're surrounded by the people you love, literally laughing until your sides ache. Well, welcome to Vital Elixir. In today's explainer, our mission is to help you age with exactly that kind of strength, independence, and confidence. We're going to dive into some incredibly clear, honest, science-backed information and explore how you can achieve vibrant longevity using 4 simple lifestyle pillars pulled straight from the world's longest living populations.
You know, I hear it all the time. People think living to 100 is just a roll of the genetic dice, right? Like you either win the DNA lottery or you don't. But actually, the famous Danish twin study revealed a completely empowering truth. It turns out genetics dictate only about 20 to 30% of your lifespan. So what does that mean for us? It means a massive 70 to 80% is entirely in your hands. It's shaped by your daily habits, your environment, and your community. You have incredible power over how you age.
It's so easy to get caught up in the modern wellness industry's hype. They kind of want us to fear aging, constantly pushing expensive gadgets, extreme diets, and fistfuls of supplements. But instead of falling for these pricey biohacking fads, we're looking at the honest, science-backed habits of real-life centenarians, the folks living in the blue zones who routinely cruise right past their 100th birthdays. When researchers study them, there are no $5,000 cold plunges, no one swallowing 40 pills at breakfast. What they actually find are people who have just mastered simple, profound, daily habits that absolutely any of us can adopt.
Okay, so we often think exercise has to mean sweating it out in a gym for 45 minutes and then just sitting in a chair the rest of the day, right? But centenarians do things a bit differently. They rely on something called NEAT. That stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically, they engineer continuous, gentle movement directly into their daily routines. We're talking about super practical, everyday things: kneading bread, tending the garden, walking to the local store, or simply getting up and down from the floor. They make movement a completely seamless part of their environment, rather than just another chore on their to-do list.
Engaging in this kind of low-grade, consistent movement is just fantastic for your body. It hydrates your fascia, helps drain your lymphatic system, and keeps those joints nicely lubricated so you stay mobile. But maybe the coolest part, it sends this continuous signal to your cells that your body is still needed. Now, just a quick reminder here as we talk about movement, always adapt these things to your own physical abilities, and please have a chat with your healthcare provider before starting any new routine, especially if you have mobility limitations. Our ultimate goal here is safe, sustainable independence. If you spend any time online, you've probably seen influencers pushing crazy zero-carb rules or extreme fasting. But if you look at the longest living regions in the world, there's this really refreshing simplicity to how they eat. They enjoy a roughly 95% plant-based diet, and get this, the absolute cornerstone across every single region is beans. Black beans in Nicoya, soybeans in Okinawa, fava beans in Sardinia, and lentils in Loma Linda. A single daily cup of beans is absolutely packed with soluble fiber to support your gut, plus complex carbohydrates to help stabilize your blood sugar. It's essentially nature's most affordable superfood.
And it's not just about what they eat, but how they eat. Alongside prioritizing all those beans and dark leafy greens, centenarians practice a brilliant habit called hara-hachi-bu. This is an Okinawan mantra, and it basically means stopping eating when your stomach is about 80% full. So they eat until they're no longer hungry, not until they're uncomfortably stuffed. Combining this mindful eating with giving the digestive system a good 12-hour rest overnight is associated with some truly profound long-term health benefits.
Look, stress is an inevitable part of life, right? We can't avoid it entirely, but it's how we manage that stress that dictates how it affects our bodies. Centenarians actually have ritualized daily ways to downshift and shed stress before it can turn into chronic inflammation. This looks a bit different depending on the culture. Okinawans might take quiet time to honor their ancestors. Sardinians, they might enjoy a restorative midday nap or a happy hour. Seventh-day Adventists prioritize a weekly nature walk. The takeaway here is that having a daily ritual, even if it's just 10 minutes of deep breathing or having a quiet cup of tea on the porch, is absolutely vital for calming your nervous system.
Beyond just stress relief, these folks possess a fierce sense of purpose. In Okinawa, they call it ikigai. In Nikkei, it's plan de vida. It literally translates to the reason I wake up in the morning. And this is a huge deal because defining your purpose, whether that means being an engaged grandparent, volunteering in your community, or maintaining a beautiful garden, is actually associated with adding up to 7 years to your life expectancy. You are needed, and feeling that sense of being needed acts like a biological shield for your brain and body.
You might have heard of the famous Harvard study of adult development, Well, it proved that the quality of our relationships is the #1 predictor of a long, happy life. As we age, we have to take social isolation very seriously. In fact, research shows that loneliness is as toxic to your vascular system and your brain as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That is wild, right? Social isolation carries very real physical risks, while deep connection acts as a profound biological shield that keeps us active, happy, and, frankly, out of the doctor's office. In Okinawa, they combat this isolation by building something called a moai. It's a committed, lifelong social support group. They share resources, they check in on each other, and they literally carry the heavy burdens of life together. So investing time in your friendships, calling your family, or joining a local walking group isn't just a nice thing to do, it's the biological glue that holds a 100-year life together.
Okay, let's synthesize these pillars into a practical everyday routine you can safely start trying out today. Starting with your morning. First, try to get some natural sunlight in your eyes to help set your circadian rhythm. Drink a big glass of water and do maybe 5 minutes of deep breathing to gently calm your nervous system right out of the gate. Enjoy a breakfast rich in protein and fiber, and then just begin your day with some gentle, incidental movement, maybe tending to some plants or doing some light sweeping.
Moving into your midday routine, enjoy a plant-slanted lunch. Toss in some lentils or black beans and leafy greens, and try to remember that hara hachi bu rule. Stop when you're about 80% full. After eating, take a short, safe 10-minute walk. That is a fantastic way to help stabilize your blood sugar. And finally, actively reach out to your social circle. Call a friend, chat with a neighbor, and do a little something to nurture your own moai.
As you wind down in the evening, try to fit in just 20 minutes of safe mobility or strength work tailored to whatever your body can handle today. This is absolutely key for protecting your bones and preventing falls. Have a light dinner to help lower that evening cortisol. Then take a quick moment to reflect on your purpose. Maybe jot down one thing you're grateful for before heading to sleep in a cool, dark room. It's simple, it's sustainable, and it's highly effective.
If you take away just one thing today, I want you to remember this. You are the architect of your second half. You're not a passive victim of genetics. Every single time you choose a bowl of lentils over a processed snack, every time you choose to take a short walk, and every time you pick up the phone to connect with a friend, you are casting a very real vote for your future health span. Now, as always, we want you to empower yourself safely. Please make sure to consult your healthcare provider before making major lifestyle, diet, or exercise changes, especially if you manage any chronic health conditions or take daily medications. We want you progressing safely, gradually, and with the complete support of your medical team. So, I'd love for you to reflect on this for a second. Which of these 4 pillars, movement, diet, purpose, or connection, is already a strength for you? And more importantly, which one might you be leaving up to chance? Pick just one small practical step to focus on today, because your future self is definitely counting on it. Thank you so much for joining me on Vital Elixir, and here's to your strength, your independence, and your beautiful 100-year life.
Thank you for your time. Subscribe for more health education. Like the video and share it to help others stay informed.